What if I told you the god of thunder had a warship, a stealthy predator that strikes from the shadows, armed with torpedoes, radar, and the wrath of Asgard itself? Well, captains, brace yourselves, because in World of Warships, the new European battleships have arrived, and their Tier 10 masterpiece, Thor, is ready to bring the thunder. Hello everyone, my name is Carbine Carlito, and today we're diving into the brand new line of European pocket battleships. We'll explore what makes this new branch so different, why they're called pocket battleships, and how the Tier 10 Thor might just be one of the most unique ships ever to sail into our ports. Well, it looks like World of Warships is about to shake up the tech trees again, this time with a European branch that brings together the smaller naval powers of the European continent. From the Aegean to the Baltic, these ships represent an alternate naval history, a fascinating what-if scenario where nations like Austria-Hungary, Turkey, Greece and Sweden imagine they had pushed their shipyards to their maximum limits. Starting from Tier 4, you'll find names like Yavuz Sultan Selim, Chios, Eniketan, Gustav den Store, and eventually the mighty Thor. There are a couple of ships still under wraps for the moment, but the concept is clear. These are compact, tactical battleships designed to hit hard, stay hidden, and vanish before the enemy knows what hit them. These are not your typical lumbering dreadnoughts. They're smaller, faster, and surprisingly stealthy, blending the DNA of a cruiser and battleship. The first thing to know really about these ships is their guns aren't about sheer size or range. These ships carry smaller caliber main batteries with fairly long reloads and average range. But don't be fooled. At higher tiers, accuracy and shell velocity improve dramatically. And by the time you reach Thor, you're firing some of the best feeling shells in the entire class. Here's the twist. The real killing blow will often come from beneath the surface. Every ship in this branch carries torpedoes. At lower tiers, they're old school underwater launchers, slow, few in number and with limited arcs. But once you hit the higher tiers of 8 and above, the European torpedoes truly earn the reputations. Fast, deadly, and very good firing angles. The enemy thinks you're a battleship slugging it out, then suddenly they're eating 4 torps from a direction they didn't expect. These ships can really reward cunning and positioning, and not just brute force. Now let's talk utility, because this is where the European line gets quite spicy indeed. Every ship from Tier 5 upward gains access to the emergency engine power consumable, granting a massive but short burst of speed. Now think of it as your get out of jail free button or your ambush enabler. Then from Tier 8 onwards, these ships also get surveillance radar. Yes, you heard that right. Battleships with radar. Now combine this with low detectability, among the best in their class, and you've got a line that thrives on surprise attacks and flanking maneuvers. You can play them almost like oversized cruisers. Get into position, radar your target, and then unleash your guns and torpedoes. Then speed boost away before the big boys can return fire. Now you do want to remember the HP pools on these ships are currently quite low. You can't slug it out toe to toe with a Yamato or Kremlin and think you're going to come out on top. Think like a predator and not a tank. Now this line is quite interesting, and this brings us to the star of the show, the Tier 10 Thor. A hypothetical Swedish design from the late 1940s to the early 1950s. She represents what Sweden could have built if they decided to dominate the Baltic after World War II. Imagine a sleek, powerful battleship mounting 406mm main battery guns, That's 16 inches of pure Scandinavian retribution, combined with cutting-edge radar and post-war anti-aircraft systems. Now, in-game, I can't exactly share my in-game experience, but Thor does seem to promise, looking at these numbers, to deliver the long-range performance that earlier ships lacked. Her ballistics are superb, flatter arcs, faster shells, and reliable accuracy. That means if you aim well, you'll land your salvos, and you'll feel it. Her torpedoes look devastating, they are fast, they hit hard, and have excellent launching arcs. Using this, it's quite easy to conceive the tactics, baiting enemy ships into duels, angling in, firing your main batteries, and as soon as they give you an opportunity, send the torps home to finish the job. So, Thor really can embody the Norse god's essence, striking fast, striking hard, and then disappearing into the storm. Historically, her name continues a Swedish naval legacy inherited from the coastal defense ship Thor, which did serve from the 1890s to the 1930s. But this new iteration is pure myth brought to metal, a thunder god reborn for the modern seas. So, looking at the base numbers on the PTS server, what stands out to me personally is I always try and figure out how I would play these ships during testing. And from what I've gathered, I would be using concealment, obviously. You're stealthier than most battleships, so you're closing in using your speed and concealment to get an advantageous position. I would be avoiding trying to brawl head on. These ships are tough, but you're not immortal. You want to be trading hit points only when you're sure the return is actually worth it. I would want to be timing my engine boost correctly, using it primarily to either break contact, reposition, or catch isolated targets. You definitely want to be leveraging your radar, surprising destroyers and punishing any cruiser thinking they can hide behind smoke. And finally, the torpedoes are your ace in the hole. But although, never forget that your secondary armament can totally help change the entire flow of a battle when in close quarters. So finally, European battleships are here to rewrite the rules. They're fast, they're stealthy, and perfect for players who enjoy tactical play, ambushes, and precision. And Thor, she's the storm at the top of the tree. So if you're feeling ready to wield the thunder, you can jump right in when these enter early access in not the too distant future. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive guides, and join the channel to support future content. And don't forget, from as little as 99 cents, you can grab some channel perks, emotes, and even in-game rewards like super containers. So until next time, captains, fair seas, and may your aim be as true as Mjolnir itself.